The second phase of awakening is seek and you will find. This second phase of awakening has 3 levels within it, those being the beginning, the middle, and the end. Let us now explain the beginning portion of the second phase of awakening. In the beginning of this second phase, one starts to not have as many strong material desires anymore. The concept of material goods seems to have lost some of its excitement compared to the way it used to feel, and instead one begins the journey of looking for the meaning of life and how it works with the universal flows. One still wants certain beautiful things in their lives, but it does not seem to be as strong as it once was. One no longer feels the contentment of being static, but feels a strong urge to look for others, to learn about how the world around them works, to recognize the dark and the light, to understand how their energy mixes with others. In other words, the human begins the second phase of seeking when they are ready to begin to explore the rules of the world and find things they might not understand. This is where the human uses more labels for themselves, such as spiritual. Most humans that enter this phase begin ancient practices as laid out by many of your cultures that have given to you the concepts of meditation, yoga, and qigong. In this second phase, the concept of being spiritual takes on a strong meaning within their lives. The human usually decides to go through significant changes in who they are in order to learn about the meaning of life. The human usually begins to explore the concept of self-deprivation in order to learn about becoming more spiritual, meaning the human usually decides that there are certain things that are right and spiritual compared to things that are wrong and evil. For instance, most humans in this phase will choose to remove many different products from their diet that they have learned from others that are harmful, such as eating animals, grains, alcohols, tobaccos, chemicals, to name just a few. In the beginning portions of the second phase of evolution, the human usually begins to see the world through much stronger opinions of what is right and wrong. The human usually begins to label themselves and feels a very strong call to tell others how to make their lives better by doing what it is they are doing. In this beginning portion of the second phase of awakening, the human usually will become strongly focused upon right versus wrong, healthy versus unhealthy, spiritual versus non-spiritual, good versus evil, and us versus them. In this beginning portion of the second phase of awakening, the human is straddling the evolution between the dualistic knowledge of the physical world versus the energy of universal divine consciousness. This is why, dearest ones, it feels so confusing and overwhelming for you while in this second phase of enlightenment. You are bombarded with instructions by others telling you to do certain meditations, you must do certain ancient practices, you must harness specific energies within yourself, fight others who are trying to cause you harm, and so on and so on. Again, all of these humans are trying to help you out of love. But they are also straddling the line between the consciousness of being in a dualistic physical world and the universal divine consciousness and are confused themselves. But this is all part of this phase of awakening. It needs to happen. It must happen. In order to grow, it must be this way. You must go through this confusion, chaos, and fighting in order for you to begin the evolution to the next and final phase. You must go through this, dearest ones, because as you learn, as you expand, you feel such freedom, such excitement, such joy with your newfound knowledge that you want to express it and give it to everyone and tell them how to experience this glory that you have discovered within you. It is done out of love. It is done out of service to others. It is perfect. It is beautiful. It is part of the process. But as you can see, dearest ones, it also contains within it still the desire to tell others what to do. But at this point, you are then ready to begin approaching the middle portion of the second phase of awakening.